for Russell Westbrook. Blockbuster trade right out of the gate. Initial reactions on this before we get to the Celtics.
Go.
Nothing, guys. You guys got nothing about this one?
Hey, we want to give you the lead off. You were loving it.
Go.
Oh, man, I love this trade. I love this big time because I want to see how John Wall can do in a new setting. And I also, of course, want to see if Russell Westbrook can actually put it together, of course. Last season was, I'm not going to call it a flat-out disaster, but let's call it what it was. It was a flat-out disaster. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, Houston, they needed a change, and I think it was going to be really difficult for them, or at least I thought it was going to be difficult for them to find another team to take on Westbrook, at least this early. They found the Washington Wizards. I guess we should have seen this one come in, so to speak. But at the same time, if you're the Wizards, or excuse me, if you're the Rockets, John Wall, James Harden, can this happen? Are we going to see a replica of what we saw this past season, or are they going to be able to put it together? I don't know. What do you guys think? I love it. I like their chances.
So I'm weary of the Rockets going into this season trying to go for it, because what are you going for? The 8th seed? I get you don't have your first round pick for a bunch of years now because of this disastrous Westbrook trade. Going to go down as one of the worst trades of all time, acquiring him for a bevy of first. I don't know what they're going for here. It's either them or the Warriors as the 8th seed, I guess, at the bottom of that conference. I say you just dump off all this talent. You don't want to just dump Harden. That you got to get the right trade for him, certainly. But getting Westbrook off like this and acquiring another first, they got 2 firsts from Portland for Robert Covington. They're off to a good start. They got Christian Wood, who's a great young player. DeMarcus Cousins is going to try to rebrand himself there. So I guess they start this season, try to get something from Wall, try to get something from Cousins, let Harden do his thing. And they'll be exciting again until they find that right trade for Harden. There's no rush on that.
What's Wall's injury status right now?
So he missed a year and a half with the
right
Achilles.
now, is he expected?
He's ready to go. Yep, he started training camp for the Wizards yesterday.
Despite the bad player, I prefer Wall over Westbrook 10-1 here. I again, you don't know if he's a diminished version of himself, and he's got issues as well. I'm just so down on Westbrook. I have been for years. I just think he's a detriment to your team. It becomes the Russell Westbrook show. He only knows how to play one way. He's not good enough at other things to be a complementary player. He can't just spot up and shoot or do whatever. He has to have the ball. He has to attack. He has to take bad shots because that's the only way he knows how to play. I don't know what he does for any team. I think this is a kind of you take my star, I take your star. We'll see if the new scenery makes it better for both parties, but shoulder shrug, I don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I mean, Rockets got a first-round pick out of it. Whether or not it's going to be worth much, who knows? But, I mean, watching Russell Westbrook in the bubble, in the playoffs, I mean, if you guys watched that game, and I'm sure you did because we were all watching every bubble game, I mean, he was way out of sorts. I mean, I couldn't believe this guy was like the biggest liability on the court, turning the ball over left and right, couldn't even hit a free throw when it mattered. And it was just so obvious that he was overthinking or just wasn't comfortable out there. I don't know exactly why. So I wasn't surprised to see that he wanted a change of scenery. Too bad the way things kind of ended up for John Wall in Washington. It seemed like, obviously he had such a promising start to his career, and then injuries kind of took over. And I guess the tenure, his tenure there will probably be, seen as, what could have been sort of thing, because
it was his team. Now it's Bradley Beal's,
Yeah. I mean, by default, I think Bradley Beal just took it over. I think that was easy because John Wall just couldn't stay on the court. So I'm pumped to see John Wall play again. I hope that he's healthy. I hope that he can, form a good, if Harden stays with the team, hopefully, they can form a nice 1-2 punch there. But yeah, I mean, the Rockets will be fun to watch to an extent, but they're the Rockets. They're destined to lose, in the playoffs like they always do. It doesn't really matter who they trade for. It's just how it's going to be.
You just want to tackle him when he's on the court. He's impossible to watch. Anyway, we're just hit this because it's breaking news. It's not our intention to talk about it. We have a ton of stuff to talk about